Hi, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Chantal Broderick, and today I'm joined by Melanie Haydon, Director of Deliberate Practice. Mel, welcome. Thanks for coming
Hi,
back.
Chantal.
Great to see you again. Now, today we're actually going to be talking about something that I think so many people struggle with, which is conflict or difficult conversations at work. So I know a lot of people kind of avoid those
Mm.
situations at all costs. Why do you think it is that people
Mm.
avoid difficult conversations?
We all do it. At some point, we all do it. So if we think about, times where we want to be having a conversation with somebody, but our stomach maybe flips over a little bit, or our mind starts racing, or it goes into our dreams, which is what happens with me a lot of the time. And you wake up in the morning and you think, oh, I've got to have this conversation. And you go, no, not today, not today. And the reason why we put that avoidance in set is because we don't want to deal with the discomfort. And so we push it away, which makes it feel safer for them. But what it does is it costs us long term. And this being silent doesn't make it go away. That can actually be toxic, particularly in a workplace, which is what we're talking about today. And it accumulates, it goes underground.
You just mentioned, becoming silent. What are some of those other ways that avoiding conflict rather can show up in our lives?
In terms of outside of work,
No,
or
so things like staying silent, or smoothing things over,
yes,
that
yeah,
type of thing. It delays feedback.
yes,
What
yes,
what are some of those, I guess, examples?
exactly that. So the obvious one
Mm.
is we don't say anything
Yeah,
at all.
we kind of avoid it.
We withdraw. We don't say
Mm-hmm.
anything. We ask for somebody else to do it for us, which never works particularly well. Or from a cultural perspective, which can be really, really damaging, is the venting sideways, the bitching, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and not addressing things head on. And all of this can lead, particularly in a workplace, to disengagement. It can lead to tension. It can lead to anger. And so we're festering, things get underground and start to fester.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we're doing ourselves a favour by protecting ourselves, by not getting into that uncomfortable situation. But studies have shown that this is not the way to go. How do we get the confidence? How do we be brave and do that?
Yeah. And sometimes the difficulty is we don't want to have those conversations, but being overly nice can also be harmful as well, right?
Absolutely.
Why would that be the case?
Because being nice
Mm.
without clarity and being kind incorporates being honest. And as long as it's done constructively, then it is nice. But by not having these conversations, we're not being nice to ourselves and we're not being nice to the other person, because we're not providing the other person with the information to make their decision about something as well.
So if we think about that and we want to find a solution to this situation, what would you say that would be? How can people move forward, or I guess towards having the difficult conversation as opposed to moving away from having it?
And it's probably, well, I know it's a lot longer than what we can discuss right here, right now. But one of the first things is to reframe having a difficult conversation to perhaps having a crucial conversation. So when we say, I'm going to have a difficult conversation with so and so, then that means we are already projecting that it's going to be difficult, and that stirs up our emotions and our thoughts that we take in with us. Whereas if we term it as having a crucial conversation, and a crucial conversation is easily defined by saying it's one where the stakes are high, it matters, where there might be a difference of opinions or a difference of views or assumptions, and where there are often strong emotions involved. So it's got to be all three of those things. It matters what happens, the emotions are involved, and there's a difference of opinion. So if we reframe, then that's a start to have that crucial conversation. The second one is be clear on your intent. Why is it you want to have this conversation? And also be clear as to why you are not. What are you protecting? Are you protecting the relationship? Are you protecting your level of discomfort in that? And the third one is keep it simple. So don't go into long conversations about it. Go in with a structure. Name what it is that you are experiencing. And that is really important to do that without judgment. So it's not, I notice you don't care about this. That's with judgment. I notice that you are coming 10 minutes late to every shift. So it's something that is factual. Then name what the impact of that is, and then name what you want to happen, so what you would like, and then be open. This is a really important part. Be open and, again, non-judgmental to hear what the other person has to say. Because often we will go, I want to tell you something, blah, 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 and throw it at you and then go, okay, I'm finished now. I've said my piece. But it needs to be a two-way.
And it almost crosses back to another podcast episode that we did together when we were talking about the emotional, the energy that you bring into a room when you walk into the room. So it sounds like in these times where we need to have a crucial conversation, not a difficult conversation, a crucial conversation, that going in with the willingness to obviously frame the facts, but also listen to the response is really important. When you talk about reframing from difficult to crucial, rather, is that reframing in our head? Is it something that we should start to use the language? Definitely. Instead of, so that it just becomes, in the same way that excitement and fear were, similar emotional responses, we want to verbally start to use the language of, I need to have a crucial conversation with this person.
Absolutely. Because it does remove an aspect of our emotions that we might be placing or predicting on it. So, and just to keep that out as well, is when we're talking about be clear on your intent, also be clear on what you are bringing to the situation. So any assumptions or judgment that you may have and how that impacts your emotions.
Let's talk more about that impact, because you gave a really good example of, perhaps someone is coming in consistently late to work, so you feel the need to address it. What is the impact that can have on other people within the office?
There's a number of different models when we talk about giving or having crucial conversations. And when we talk about impact, one of them is talking about what the impact is to the person. So when you come in 5 minutes late, that makes me think that you don't care. It doesn't make any difference. And then we can talk about what the impact is to everybody else. That means that everybody else has to pick up and cover you for those 5 minutes. So the impact can be what you're experiencing and then also what other people, but again, don't speak for other people.
Yeah. So it's understanding the impact on those various areas. And so it's not necessarily the conversation itself that makes it crucial, but it's all of those impacts or what's at stake that truly makes that action crucial, or that conversation crucial, by the sounds of it. So when we think about getting clear on intent, is there a question that people should ask around that?
I think that if we talk about it from a what does this mean? What is the reason why I'm bringing this up? So is it because for results? Is it a safety issue? Is it a relationship? Is it something to do with the culture, the environment? So we need to have an understanding and be able to communicate that in what the message is that we are saying as well.
Absolutely. So just to wrap all of this up, Mel, what changes in a workplace if teams and if leaders stop avoiding those conversations and actually start addressing issues? What's the outcome of that?
There is a higher trust. there is a higher accountability amongst people and a higher safety, whether that be a physical safety or a psychological safety. And people feel more comfortable to actually speak amongst. So I'm not sure unless we've got to say it's got to be done constructively, but there's not really much negative that can happen from having constructive, crucial conversations.
I like it. Constructive, crucial conversations is a
Absolutely.
great way to finish off this
Yes.
topic.
Thank
Mel,
you.
thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Chantel.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope you got some great takeaways out of that and some really good insights from our guest Mel today. We'll see you next time.